What's up guys, my name is Brandon and it's been a few days now since Apple released iOS 11.1 Beta 1 to registered developers, and I've actually been using it on my daily driver here, the iPhone 8 Plus, so I figured I'd let you guys know how it's been treating me, as well as some of the new changes, some of the terrible bugs in this beta, the battery life, and more. So I'm not even going to waste any time at all, and I'm not going to beat around the bush at all. This beta is absolutely terrible. Now before everybody goes and rushes to the comments saying, oh, it's just the first beta, it's supposed to be bad, it's supposed to be terrible. First of all, no beta is ever supposed to be terrible. You know, I've been testing these iOS betas for years now, so I know firsthand what a first beta, is supposed to look like and what it should look like, and there's really absolutely no excuses for some of the bugs, which I'm going to be talking about here in a few minutes, which are on iOS 11.1 Beta 1. No excuses. And what's even worse is that some of these bugs that are present in 11.1 also happened in iOS 11.0.1, which was released to the public, so that is also inexcusable, and I'm going to be talking about some of those here in a few minutes. All right, I can calm down a little bit now that I got that little mini rant out of the way. Anyways, let's talk about the motion, the reduced motion that I had on in the initial video. A lot of people commented saying, you can't really see the animations because you have reduced motion enabled. So I had disabled reduced motion, and I'm going to show you guys some of the animations here on 11.1. So first of all, going in and out of applications is about the same speed as iOS 11.0.1. I actually tested this, and then going from app to app as well, it is about the same. So I think this was just a case of the placebo effect when I talked about the animations being quicker in 11.1 compared to 11.0.1. I think this is just a classic case of the placebo effect, because I've gone back and forth testing extensively the speed of the animations, and it does look still a little slightly quicker on 11.1 Beta 1, but not near as much as I maybe have indicated when I was talking about it in the very first video comparing it to 11.0.1. So with or without animations, you're not really going to notice a big difference going from 11.0.1 to 11.1 Beta 1. So I just want to make that clear and show you guys what it's like with and without reduced motion enabled. And I'll just go ahead and unlock as well so you can see that animation there. All right, so let's go ahead and talk about a couple of minor changes that I did not cover in the initial video. So the first thing comes in assistive touch. I covered the changes in assistive touch, but there are some different ones that I did not cover and did not notice. First of all, the Siri and the home icons are new here in 11.1 Beta 1. And then if we go into device, more, the gestures icon is also new there. So I don't use assistive touch at all, but I know a lot of people do. So those are some welcome changes there in the assistive touch menu. We also have the feedback application back in iOS 11.1 Beta 1 as expected. I just didn't cover that, didn't mention that in the first video, so I figured I'd mention it now. So another change, which is actually more of a bug, was that I got the iPhone 10 button, the little button down there at the bottom, randomly throughout iOS, and messages within the phone application, just at random times, it would pop up and then just disappear without even a reboot. I didn't even have to reboot or respring or anything. It would just randomly disappear and randomly show up at the bottom there, which is pretty strange. And this was supposedly very common because I saw a lot of people online talking about this on forums and on Twitter and things like that. All right, so now let's talk about some of the unbearable bugs present in iOS 11.1 Beta 1, and even some that were in iOS 11.0.1, which is released to the public, released to everybody without a beta. And this is where that rant at the beginning came from. So the number one thing I noticed in iOS 11.1 Beta 1 is that apps are crashing frequently even after updating them. So this actually happened to me in iOS 11.0.1 as well, but apps will just randomly crash. I'm talking about apps like Snapchat, I'm talking about apps like Twitter, I'm talking about apps like Instagram, Amazon, I believe the Nest application crashed 1.2, just random applications that would never crash before are just randomly crashing for no good reason on 11.1 Beta 1. And then I even noticed in the Twitter application here that sometimes when I'd have a tweet that I was about to tweet out, and then I would actually be in the draft stage. So if I went like this, started typing something, and then went to save draft, and I closed out of it, and then I went back into Twitter, sometimes it would still have the draft pulled up if I went back into it 20 minutes later. So yeah, random applications crashing frequently is a big issue with 11.1 Beta 1 and also 11.0.1 as well. I've had many people on both Twitter and in real life ask me about this, so I know it's not just me. So now let me tell you about the worst bug in iOS 11.1 Beta 1 that is completely killer for me, and I've never experienced this on any other version of iOS. So you can see down here my mail application. You guys, if you've watched my videos for a long time, you know that I always have a ton of emails. So take a look at it down here. I don't have anything there, and let me go ahead and click on it. You're going to see that it brings me to the welcome screen, even though I have multiple mail accounts already active on this phone and on this mail application. I've already have them in settings and everything like that. I even added new ones, and it still takes me here and does not show me my mail. I've even made brand new email accounts just to add them into here to see if I can get to my actual mail inbox, and it still keeps me stuck on this screen and doesn't show me any of my emails. Now, it gets even worse. Let me tell you how this all started. So on the very first day of using iOS 11.1 Beta 1, my mail application kept crashing crashing. It would not open. I would open it and it would just crash. If I go into the multitasking right here, I'd actually be able to see my inbox and see some of my emails. It wouldn't update, but I'd still be able to see it. But I'd close out of it, try to open it back up, and it would just crash right away. I tried rebooting multiple times and nothing helped it. So then I just deleted the mail application, went back to the App Store, re-downloaded the mail application, and then that's when I got brought to this screen where I added new email accounts that I never had in my device before, and then it just still stays on the screen and doesn't let me get to my mail inbox. So this is a major issue that I've already reported to Apple, but this is extremely infuriating because I am big on email. I need email on my phone, especially my daily driver. So this is a big, major bug that I've never experienced before in iOS, and it's extremely annoying. And again, I did report it to Apple, so hopefully it's fixed immediately. Another bug in iOS 11.1 beta 1 is with reachability, and this actually occurs every single time. So if you go ahead and enable reachability, you're going to notice how the icons overlap and cover up the icons in the dock. So obviously this is not supposed to happen even when you swipe over. Sometimes it'll go away when you swipe over and it'll go back to normal, but you can see right here, it's not even going back to normal even when I start swiping over. So yeah, this is another bug that hopefully Apple does fix very soon. Now, another bug that's been extremely annoying to me is that when I'm actually over on my widgets page and I swipe over, sometimes it won't swipe and it'll actually make me click on like MyFitnessPal or the weather channel and actually open up the application instead of swiping over to go back to my first page of applications. So I think it has something to do with a little bit of lag and a little bit of stutter, but sometimes it'll actually make me press this instead of swipe over. So that's annoying. It doesn't happen all the time and I can't reproduce it right now. Oh, there we go. You can see I tried to swipe over, but it actually made me click on it. I'm not trying to either. So that's a pretty annoying bug, and that never happened previously in iOS before either. And there's also just stutters throughout the day, just randomly. Apps will start being really slow and unresponsive. Going through my screen, going through my applications, it'll just be really slow and stutter quite a bit. And this is on the iPhone 8 Plus. It should not be doing that at all. I've also had people message me saying that their Messages application freezes for about 30 seconds and it doesn't even allow them to type anything. It's just frozen, for about 30 to 45 seconds on their iPhone 7, and it doesn't allow them to type or anything like that. So I haven't experienced that myself, but that is another bug I've heard in iOS 11.1 beta 1. Now, as far as the crackling noise that people are reporting through the phone, that still hasn't been fixed either in 11.1 beta 1, but Apple did say that a fix is coming. As far as battery life goes, it seems fine on my iPhone 8 Plus. I can't really notice a big difference between iOS 11, 11.0.1, and 11.1 beta 1, but it's definitely not bad here on 11.1 beta 1 on the iPhone 8 Plus. So yeah, that's been my experience with iOS 11.1 beta 1. This is probably the worst review I've ever done for anything related to iOS, just because it's been extremely infuriating for me, especially when I use this on my daily driver device. So I would definitely recommend you do not install this on your daily driver. I'd recommend you install it on a spare device you have just laying around if you want to at all. And again, the mail bug is just the biggest one and the most annoying one to me. So yeah, let me know what you guys think and if you have iOS 11.1 beta 1 and how it's running for you. I know there's going to be some people out there that are like, iOS 11.1 beta 1, it's running fine for me. I've had no issues at all. It's always like that. There's always some people that have no issues at all, but most of the people, I'd say 95+% are experiencing some type of issue with iOS 11.1 beta 1. But yeah, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Also make sure to subscribe. I have a lot more videos on the way. So thanks again for watching, guys, and I'll see you soon.